I'm so ready for this. Let's go. CK1. This is CK1 Essence. CK1 is one of the first fragrances I've ever been exposed to. The very first fragrance I've been exposed to was Acqua di Gio, and this is the very second. The third one was my all-time favorite, Calvin Klein's Obsession, and the third one is Nemo by Cacharel, and so on and so forth. I think the fifth one might have been Issey Miyake's L'Odyssée. So you can kind of see a trend in early 90s, aquatic, fresh scents, maybe with the exception of Obsession, right? So CK1 is gorgeous. What always intrigued me about CK1 is something I read a bit later on it, is that it was actually constructed as a chypre. So what's that all about? And you know, that means of course that it's got a hefty oak moss base, which makes it slightly metallic. Oh, this bottle looks just gorgeous. Gorgeous. And you could also say that about Acqua di Gio as well. It's got an oak moss base as well. So we're going to have to construct ourselves the bottle in typical Serge Lutens fashion. I'm sorry. All right. I haven't had a bottle of CK1. This is my only one, although, you know, this is not CK1. It's CK1 Essence. We'll talk about that in a minute. Put a pin in that. I haven't had a full bottle of CK1 ever, if you can believe that. This is my very first. I only had a miniature of CK1, and you know, CK1 it used to be everywhere. Everybody used to smell of CK1. So just like Acqua di Gio, it's not something I was terribly interested in. However, it's something I always wanted, sort of. I got myself a few years ago a bottle of Acqua di Gio, and after wearing it maybe 2 times, I sold it. I gave it away because it's not for me. Not to say that it's not a beautiful scent, but it's not for me. Let's see if CK1 is for me. I think it is, though. I think I'm going to love this one. Oh, this opened up very, very modern into those amber woody molecules that we get more than enough today, which was very telling that this is going to last maybe a bit more than the original CK1, which is very, very fleeting. It's a 2-3 hour scent, but that's fine. I always liked CK1 despite of that. This CK1 Essence is Alberto Moria's return, right, in 2024, in trying to make CK1 into an eau de parfum, I suppose. Do they say what this is? They don't even say what this is. Oh no! It's called Parfum Intense. Alright, sure. It's an EDP, I'm sure. It's an eau de parfum, because nobody knows what Parfum Intense means. I smelled this was not a blind buy. I smelled this in a perfume shop, and I liked it. I liked it because it's not different, or it's similar enough to the old CK1, where I just said, oh no, I'm going to get this. I need this in my life, and it is stunning. It's perfect for summer. It's just CK1, folks. Maybe, no, there is no maybe. It's just CK1. Those amber woody things in the opening that they're not present, I cannot tell they're there. It's just the same citrusy, watery, aromatic. I don't know how to describe CK1. The CK1 stumps me. It's clean, inoffensive, simple by today's standards. It's citrusy and nothing more. If I were to compare it to something, I would compare it to Kenzo's Lo Parkenzo, because I think that's fair. I could compare it to Bergamot Calabria from Guerlain, Aqua Allegoria as well. CK1 is more watery, it's more fluid. It's more, I don't want to call it a marine scent, but you can definitely tell that future, because this came out in 1994, good year, and all future, aquatics kind of ideologically stem either from CK1 or from another Calvin Klein, which was Calvin Klein's Escape, because that's a very good use of cologne. I don't know, is Calvin Klein's Escape still available? I have no idea. I haven't seen it anywhere. I've only seen Eternity, which is just as good, just as good, but it's not the same. I miss Escape. There's so many good Calvin Kleins out there. This is one of the very best. CK1, so simple, so easy to wear. It's such a versatile all day scent, all days, all occasions. You don't need to, it's a dumb reach, right? This is the epitome of a dumb reach. If you look on the notes, I'm going to look on the notes for just CK1. You've got all the citruses in the world, green notes, pineapple, which kind of, whenever you see pineapple, I don't know if that's true or not, but you might think of cologne, or that's watermelon. Who cares? It's that same, because it is, CK1 is fruity, but it's a rather undefined fruitiness to this. You cannot tell if it's pineapple or watermelon or currant or berries. You have no idea what you're smelling here, or I have no idea what I'm smelling here. Cardamom, papaya, lily of the valley. This is where things get interesting. Lily of the valley, jasmine, violet rose, nutmeg, orris root, freesia, another green accord. Ugh, this is so silly. Musk, cedar, which isoe super, I suppose. Sandalwood, green tea, oak moss, and amber. Now the ambery base for CK1 is very, very faint. Don't know how the dry down will be in CK1 Essence. I have no experience with that one. So just for the information, let's look on the CK1 Essence notes on Fragrantica. And they cite a lot less citruses. So it's just bergamot, white tea, blood orange, black pepper. When I see that black tea, there's something about this that reminds me of Bulgari's Eau Parfumée au Thé Blanc. Eau Parfumée au Thé Blanc always reminded me of L'Odyssée by Issey Miyake, so there you go. It's gone full circle. Green tea, mint, geranium, musk, sandalwood, incense, and moss, because oak moss is something they don't use anymore, so it's just moss now, which could mean anything. I think this is a very good scent. I think this is very much something you need to get into or try out if you've ever been a fan or you're nostalgic for the 90s. It's a very good launch. There's nothing else to tell you about CK1 Essence. I'm going to have to see how this is on the skin, how its dry down is. I'm a bit concerned about those amber woods, but not all that much. And that mystery of this being considered, CK1 being considered a Chypre, kind of still stands for me. Although I can definitely sense a bit of a metallic undertone, and definitely you've got that contrast with that beautiful bergamot in the opening. There's not much else in terms of Chypre elements going on, to be fair. So it's a very atypical Chypre. Let's leave it at that. It's very atypical. But a very, very fresh scent. Very versatile, something very easy, and the bottle is just stunning. I don't know, it's very, very cheap as well. You can get this, CK1 has always been cheap. You can get it at, there's some, I've seen it in supermarkets, CK1, certain supermarkets. So it's, it's cheap, it's everywhere, but it's not cheap smelling. So it's still a very decent and very iconic, in terms of fragrance world references. CK1 is very iconic, and I'm glad I have it. So there you go. These were my first impressions, I suppose, on CK1 Essence. And if you have any other questions, do let me know in the comments. And until next time, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.